Hello and welcome to Hyper Curious. I'm Amethyst and I'm back. I'm sorry for last week. The holidays and stuff, it just got so busy, so there wasn't a video last week, but there is one this week, as you can see, and we should be back on regular scheduling from now on. So, I am back, and lately I have been really into Doctor Who. Now, I'm sure most of you know what Doctor Who is. If you don't, it's this show about an alien who travels inside a time machine that looks like a police box, and he has crazy adventures with all these people. Um, Now, if you haven't watched Doctor Who, go watch it. It is incredible. But I thought I could just talk about it, but that seemed boring, so I made a PowerPoint. So my PowerPoint is titled My Top 15 Favorite Doctor Who Characters. Now, keep a few things in mind. First of all, this ranking is completely subjective. This is my ranking. I'm not even sure of it. My opinion might change tomorrow. Um, this is just a quick ranking that I made, but this is my ranking. If you have a different ranking, leave it in the comments, but be respectful because everyone's entitled to their own opinions. Now, the characters in this ranking are from series 1 through to series 10, so the ninth to the 12th Doctor. So, spoiler warning for those series. Yeah, if you haven't watched those, then you probably shouldn't be watching this video, and you should first go watch Doctor Who, and then come back and watch this video. Yeah. Now, something to keep in mind, which will probably explain a lot of the ranking in this video, is that I didn't watch these doctors in chronological order because my brother recommended against it, and I still don't know why, but that's how it is. So I first watched the 11th Doctor, then the 12th Doctor, then the 9th Doctor, and then the 10th Doctor, and now I'm rewatching 11 and 12 again. But so 11 was my first, so you will see that a lot of the characters from his era are really near the top of the list. Now, oh, I accidentally pressed, but okay, number 15, the Daleks. The Daleks are iconic. They keep coming back, and I'm not mad about it. I absolutely love that they keep coming back. They are so sassy in certain moments. For example, this scene, which is my favorite Dalek scene ever, I will put it right now.
Daleks be warned. You have declared war upon the Cybermen.
This is not war. This is pest control.
We have 5 million Cybermen. How many are you?
4.
You would destroy the Cybermen with 4 Daleks.
We would destroy the Cybermen with 1 Dalek. You are superior in only one respect.
What is that?
You are better at dying. Raise community.
I absolutely love that scene. Now, the next one might be a bit surprising. It's Lady Cassandra. She was only in Doctor Who for 2 episodes, and she managed to be so memorable to me. It's incredible. She's iconic. She is canonically a trans woman because she talks about being a little boy on planet Earth. She is not a little boy anymore. And she managed to have a redemption arc in 1 episode without it feeling rushed. Yeah, I absolutely love her. Next is one of my personal favorite minor characters, the Face of Bo. Now, the Face of Bo only appears in 3 episodes, but I absolutely love him. I think it's 3 episodes. Yeah, it's probably 3 episodes. He's wise, and he has this mystery factor to him, because there are all these myths about him, and no one really knows what's true or not. And then in the series 3 finale, it's hinted that he might be Jack Harkness. So this is absolutely, I absolutely love him. Love the Face of Bo. At number 12, we have Ashildr. Now, this might be a bit of a weird choice, but I remember watching her story, and I was so intrigued. This is immortality done right. She goes around, she doesn't remember most of her life because, well, it's so much, you can't remember that much. So she starts writing these journals, and I feel like her immortality was done a little bit better than Jack Harkness's immortality. I liked her story and how she dealt with the immortality a little bit more. Of course, keep in mind I haven't watched Torchwood, so maybe if I watched that, my opinion would change completely. But what I love so much about her is that she keeps popping back into the Doctor's life every once in a while, but not so much that it becomes annoying. She eventually she plays a big part in the story, but she doesn't appear too much, and that's something I really really like about her. Now, at number 11, we have our first companion of the Doctor, Nardole. I remember watching the first episode he's in, which is the last episode with River's Song, and I was so confused because they introduced him, but I felt like I was supposed to know him already by the way they introduced him. I wasn't. I wasn't supposed to know him already, I think. But over time, I was surprised he kept coming back, and I really, really started to love him. He's not afraid to tell the Doctor what he thinks, because the Doctor has these weird ideas sometimes, and he's not afraid to tell the Doctor, like, this is how it is, this is what I think of that, and you are being an absolute stupid person. So yeah, big love to Nardole. Now, at number 10, we have the Master, but more specifically Missy. Now, I only know two regenerations of the Master because I have not watched past the 12th Doctor and not before the 9th Doctor. The Master with the 10th Doctor was done really well. He was a compelling character, he was a good villain, but that was all he was. He was a villain. It was intriguing. Oh, the Doctor isn't the last of the Time Lord. There were a few plot twists. It was good. But then they introduced Missy, and Missy was absolute perfection, in my opinion. She has this love hate relationship with the Doctor, which is really interesting. She is silly, she isn't afraid to say what she thinks. She is still evil, but also not. She has this redemption arc in the last season with the 12th Doctor, and the cool thing about that redemption arc is that she's not completely redeemed. She stays this morally grey character, and that's what I really really like about her. Also, the acting, phenomenal. Now, at number 9, we have Rory Williams. When I started watching Doctor Who and he appeared for the first time and he started traveling with the Doctor, I was not too sure about him. Like Amy, I was immediately in love, more about her later, but Rory, I was a bit doubtful, but throughout the series, he really managed to win me over. Especially with the Pandorica arc, where he waits 2,000 years for Amy. His love for Amy is just unparalleled. So I grew to really love him. He is absolutely a great character. Now, at number 8, you will see a lot of companions are coming now. At number 8, it's Bill Potts. The reason why she's so low, because I did really, really love her. The reason why she's so low is that we had so little of her. She was thrown in there as the final companion of the 12th Doctor, and she had to share the spotlight with Nardole. But I did really like her, and what I especially liked was her professor-student relationship with the Doctor. Her acting is great. There was this one scene in the episode with the monks where she's absolutely completely destroyed mentally and she's so angry at the Doctor, and I absolutely love that scene. So I just really like her. And number 8 is pretty good, and when you consider how many characters there really are. Now at number 7, this might be controversial, is Rose Tyler. Rose is my least favorite companion of the 10th Doctor, not counting Mickey, because I don't really count him as a companion considering how little of him there was. But like of the main 3 companions, she was my least favorite. I still really really love her. She is so badass. I just like the other 2 a bit more, so she made the number 7 spot. I have to say that the beach scene where the Doctor projects himself to talk to her one last time, well, one last time, but okay, not really one last time, but back then we thought it was One Last Time. That scene made me cry so much. But then I thought I was absolutely going to miss her so much when she left. But then I didn't. Like, Martha was introduced, and I didn't forget about her. Rose was still a great character, but it didn't feel like I was missing something. Martha filled that hole perfectly. Speaking of, she is number 6. I was unsure of her at the beginning, but as with Rory, I really started to like her, and I started to like her a lot more than I started to like Rory. In one season, she managed to be so memorable, and I really like her character as a whole. She's a doctor, and in the first episode she appears, there's like the scene where she's like, "Oh no, what? Who are you? The doctor? No, no, no. I worked for that title. I went through medical school. It was hell. I deserve this. You don't." I absolutely love that. I feel like the her best episode is the finale with the master, where she travels around the world. That was just peak Martha for me. And then I have to give her credit, she left the doctor. She didn't die. She didn't lose her memory. She didn't get sent back in time. She didn't get sent to a parallel world. So she just left the doctor. She was like, okay, it has been enough of this for me. I cannot travel with a man who does not love me back. And then she went to work for Unit. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's a pretty weird choice. But actually, it worked really well. I think she really shines when she's in Unit more than she did as a companion. It also was nice that the Doctor had this person on Earth who he could count on because he trusted her through and through because she was his companion. So he could count on her, and so when something was wrong, he had someone to go to who was on Earth, because the companions are all good, but when you're a companion, you get sort of detached from the Earth. So the fact that she was still there, that he had this person who could call him when things were wrong, I really like that. Now, number 5 is actually not a companion, it is the Doctor himself. Now, I'm going to talk about all 4 of these Doctors in the order I watched them. So, first, 11. 11 is really silly. He is happy, he believes in stuff, he is silly, chaotic, whatever you want to call it. And that silliness makes his seriousness so much more scary. When he is serious, when he has a good speech, and 11 has the best speeches, when he has a good speech, when he is serious, people listen. And that is, I think, what works so well about 11. Now, 12 was right after 11, and he was a big contrast. Instead of this silly, chaotic person, this silly, chaotic young person, it was this grumpy, uh, more serious older person, and that's what he looks like from a distance. But then you get to know him better, and he's actually also pretty silly in some ways. He has this electric guitar which he plays on. For a while, he uses sunglasses instead of a sonic screwdriver, so he has the sonic sunglasses, which is absolutely ridiculous, but I love him for it. And he also has, all of the Doctors have really good speeches, really good serious moments. So I really love 12. Now, 9, I was told that I wouldn't like 9 because he's so different from the others. Boy, were they wrong. He is very different, but he's also silly in his own way. I absolutely love him. He is chaotic, and where the other Doctors do a lot of the saving, a lot of the episodes with the Ninth Doctor are actually saved by the companions. So while he has an important role, of course, his companions also really shine, or his companion, Rose, really shines with him. I like her more with the Ninth Doctor than with the 10th Doctor. So I absolutely love 9, and there's this one scene where he tortures a Dalek and enjoys it. And that was so weird because up until then he's been pretty happy, he's been pretty okay, but then you see his trauma come through, because of course he has more trauma than the others because he is closer to the Time War, and it's he absolutely shines as a character in that scene, because no, what he's doing isn't morally right, but that shows that the Doctor isn't this perfect being that is always right. He is stupid sometimes. He lets his emotions get the better of him, and I think that scene is beautiful. Now, 10 is, in my opinion, the most human Doctor. He is really down to earth, and where logically the ninth Doctor would have more trauma, I feel like the trauma shines through more with 10. He has the most hurt, he has the most emotion, and he also has the most. He feels like when things go wrong, it is his fault, and that is something that his companions keep reminding him of, that no, this is not your fault. Nothing that happens here is your fault. You are trying to save everyone. And he is a bit insecure, and I really, really love that for him. Now, on to the number 4 character. It is Donna Noble. Now, Donna makes her first super chaotic appearance in a Christmas special, where she just appears in the TARDIS. And from the moment she appears on screen, she is loud, she is rude as hell, she is not afraid to tell the Doctor what she thinks, and I absolutely love that. And it was also really refreshing because she is the first companion that was not in love with the Doctor. Rose was in love with the Doctor, Martha was in love with the Doctor, she is not. But still, they are soulmates, platonic soulmates, but soulmates. She is such a great match for the 10th Doctor. I don't think she would have worked well with another Doctor, but with the 10th Doctor, she is absolutely perfect. Now, on to number 3, Clara Oswalt. In talking about Clara, I have to talk about 3 characters, which is Oswin, the Victorian version of Clara, and then actual Clara. Now, Oswin was in the one episode with the Daleks, and I remember the first time watching it, and throughout the episode, you think that she's in this spaceship, and then it turns out she actually is a Dalek without knowing it. And that plot twist, the first time I watched it, absolutely blew me away. I was so shocked. But you don't think much of her. Okay, she's this minor character. You see her, she bakes souffles, which is weird because there's no eggs and no milk. This one-off character. And then you get to the Christmas episode with the snowman, and you see her again. Except she's not her. She's this Victorian girl. Victorian Clara, in my opinion, is my favorite. Victorian Clara is my favorite. She has the best TARDIS entrance scene of any companion. She says the iconic line, "It's smaller on the outside," which the Doctor has never heard, and it's absolutely brilliant. And she's so badass. Absolutely so badass. But also, she sparks this mystery because we've seen her before, and here she is again. So what the hell is going on? And it's something I really like in a character is when there's this big mystery element. So yeah, Victoria and Clara, absolutely great. And then the next episode, we meet actual Clara Oswalt. She's witty, she's compassionate. I loved her a little bit more with 12 than with 11. Probably because she had a little bit more character development with 12, because she was used to 11, and then 12 was this older grumpy man, and she had to get used to that and accept that. But then once she accepted that, they became such good friends, and I absolutely really, really love that. And I feel like Clara is what saved the Doctor, because Amy and Rory were gone, and the Doctor just stopped helping people. And then this mystery where he had gotten to know Oswin, and then he had seen Victoria and Clara. This mystery it really intrigues him because this girl is impossible. She shouldn't be alive in more than one time and place. And then there's the sentence, "Run, you clever boy, and remember." I actually want that on a t-shirt. But that mystery is what drives him into the world again, and what gets him a companion again, and gets him traveling and helping people again. So I think she saved the Doctor after he lost Amy and Rory, and he blames himself for that, because the Doctor always blames himself for everything that goes wrong. So yeah, I think she's just a really great character. Now, side note, she appears again in the last episode with the 12th Doctor, where he regains his memories of her, because he had lost them earlier. And then there's this big goodbye scene, and it's so sweet, and I feel like it was a huge missed opportunity. Because in that episode, the Doctor is actively running from his regeneration, and she always says, "Run, you clever boy, and remember." Now, he has remembered, he remembers who she is, so I think a great final line for Clara would have been, "You remembered, you clever boy. Now stop running," because he has to stop running from his regeneration. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity, and I will die on that hill. Now, number 2 is my favorite companion of all. It's Amy Pond. Amy is. She was my first companion, so of course I love her the most. It is completely subjective. I feel like her introduction was done so well because you meet her as this sweet little Scottish girl in England, and then you go forward, and that girl isn't there anymore. And then there's this scene in the first episode with Amy where the Doctor says, "6 months. Why did you say 6 months?" And he keeps pushing, and suddenly she snaps, and she says, she just yells, "Months."
Why did you say 5 minutes?
And that scene, that line, makes me tear up every time. In my opinion, Amy had the best bond with the Doctor of any companion. That's just my opinion. I don't think she would have worked well with another Doctor, same as with Donna. She is perfect for the 11th Doctor, but I just absolutely love her, and I also feel like her storylines, first with the Pandorica and then with the Silence and Melody and River, her storylines are absolutely the best ones, in my opinion. Now, before we get on to the number 1, I have some honorable mentions, which consist of both people I did not put on the list because they weren't good enough to be put on the list, but also a few people that I legitimately forgot until the list was done, and I was too lazy to change the list, but I still want to talk about them. So they are on here. First and foremost, Jackie and Mickey. Like them both. They were nice character. Jackie annoyed me so much in the beginning, but I grew to like her. She is still so stupid, but I like her in general. Mickey, actually, same thing, annoyed me in the beginning, grew to like him. Didn't like them enough to be put on the list. Now, the next 3 are ones I would have put on the list had I not forgotten. So here they are. Madame Vastra, Jenny, and Strax. They are such a good trio. They get introduced in the episode with the Silence, which is the Series 6 finale, and then they appear again with Victoria and Clara, and they have this great scene, which I'll put now.
Good evening. I'm a lizard woman from the dawn of time, and this is my wife.
This dwelling is under attack. Remain calm, human scum.
I absolutely really love them as a trio. Now, these two have nothing to do with each other. I just wanted to use less slides. So, Wilf first. I forgot to put him in as well. He is one of my absolute favorites. He is a companion for 1 episode, but he is also the grandpa of Donna. And he is just, in general, an amazing man. And I believe the photo I use of him here is from the Turn Left episode. And the line when the people he shares a house with, who aren't from Britain, they have to leave to a labor camp. And he says that's what they called them last time. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm actually tearing up while saying that. That line made me break down in tears when I heard it. The pain in his eyes is visible, and the actor did such an amazing job. Now, on another note, the Silence. The Silence, I just really like them as a concept. They're a really cool concept. You look at them, and then you look away, and you don't know where they are anymore. And then the reveals when they put little tally marks on their arms for when they see one, and the reveals when it goes from like 2 on their arm, and then they look back and it's like 100. It's like, oh shit, oh, they're here. So really like them. Next up, the Weeping Angels and the Cybermen. The Weeping Angels are the scariest Doctor Who enemies. Like they're terrifying, but they're also such a cool idea and so epic always. I like that they are not used too much because I literally would not be able to sleep at night. Then the Cybermen almost made the list, but the Daleks beat them. Um, I like them for much of the same reason as the Daleks. They are iconic. They always come back. And the first time I actually watched Doctor Who, the concept of them freaked me out. Like they take these people, they take out all the emotion to upgrade them. It absolutely freaked me out. Now, the number one pick, you may have guessed it already, Professor Rivers' song. One word, a word I have used a few times, but she deserved it more than anyone else. Iconic. Now, she loves to know better than the Doctor. The Doctor does silly stuff. She knows better than him because she knows him better than he knows her, at least in the beginning. And she is mostly right. She can fly the TARDIS better than the Doctor. She reveals in the episode with the 12th Doctor that she occasionally just steals it, which is hilarious. But what I love most about her is her storyline. It is so intricate. The Doctor and her keep meeting in the opposite order, and I think it's so cool. But because the more we see her, the more we know her, and the less she knows the Doctor. And the reveals in that storyline are absolutely amazing. Also, that storyline, of course, gives her a big mystery aspect, which, as I have discussed before, really intrigues me. I love a good mystery, and Doctor Who does them so well. So that was my ranking of my top 15 and a bit more favorite characters. Next week, Sapphire will be back with another video. In 2 weeks, you will see me. So have a nice week, and we don't actually have an outro. Maybe we should start working on that. So I am just saying things. So hello and goodbye.